My eyes are really wide. So the internet freaked out about the boys uh series finale. And then 36 hours or so later, nobody cared. Like just freaking out, and then nobody cared. And it's really disingenuous to me. So I kind of wanted to talk about the boys. Um, I think that the boys is a very worthwhile watch. Um, there's lots of gratuitous uh, blood. A lot of it is sexual in nature. It's not like violent in the way that Hostel is, or like Saw is, or something like that, like the mid 2000s Wolf Creek, where like it got real, like visceral. It's not like that. It's very comic booky. Like there's a lot of blood and explosions, but it's always like kind of silly. So if you can get past that, I think you should watch The Boys. I'm not going to talk about spoilers until I say I'm going to talk about spoilers. But yeah, that's really the main thing that turns people off, is that it's just it's a very violent series. But at the same time, it's so cartoony that it's like Looney Tunes is very violent too. Um, so people were really, really mad at the way season 5 ended, and I thought that it was kind of insane. The whole show is a satirical version of the superhero thing. So to expect, I don't want to do spoilers. Um, Basically, you're crazy if you think that it would have ended in like this stereotypical way, right? That's crazy. So, I think that you should watch The Boys. Honestly, watch the pilot. If you're offended by the pilot, don't keep watching it. It's not going to be for you. It knows what it is in the pilot. um the comic book, I tried to read it. It's such like 90s edge lord bullshit. I could not even make it through one issue. So the fact that they like toned it way down for the show, I really enjoyed, because it made it watchable. Mm, that's review Joyce. Juice, not Joyce. Well, Joyce. Joyce was my youth pastor. Shut up. All right. So you shouldn't watch Gen V. Um, I think that because the actor who died in between season 1 and season 2 of Gen V, it really messed up Gen V, and Gen V got canceled after. I can't. This little thing just. I got a little. Gen V got canceled between season 2 and 3, and I think that Gen V was supposed to play into the boys way more than it did. Um, Season 5 of the boys makes Gen V like not even a useful watch, and I hate that because I really enjoyed Gen V, but ultimately it was nothing. I want this out of. Hey, there we go. Okay. Gen V was awesome, and there was a bunch of setup that was supposed to like combine the shows. It felt like, but between the actor dying and it getting canceled, it really felt like season 5 of The Boys had to be like rewritten at the last minute. And it kind of shows, if my hypothesis is true. Maybe I'm completely wrong. There's a new show coming out on Prime that's like a prequel to The Boys, that has the I guess spoiler alert, the Jensen Ackles character, back in the 1950s. So they're still in a contract with Amazon Prime, so they can't really talk shit about Amazon Prime, and air their grievances. And I really think that if they could, we might be talking about a different story, but I really don't know. But yeah, just The Boys, it's a really good watch if you're into like subversive humor. If you're MAGA, don't watch it. Like, it's making fun of you the whole time. It's weird that like some people made it like 3 or 4 seasons in before they realized that they were like, hey, they're talking shit about me. Like, it was so obvious from day one. But so just so you know, don't. I really think that it's worth the watch, though. The internet freaked out because the ending wasn't, I want to say this without spoilers, the ending wasn't like the end of a Marvel movie. Like, it was a show that had 8 episodes per season on a budget of, I don't know, probably $100 million dollars or so at most for 8 episodes. There's no way that like planets were getting destroyed and stuff that happens in Marvel movies, and that's not what happens. Mild spoilers, sorry, it's just not what happens, and it's not what shouldn't happen. It's not what should happen. Like, that's not how the show expresses itself ever in any way. It's crazy to think that's what would happen. Like, it's a satire and a parody of things where that happens. So why would you expect that to happen? Oh, because the marketing department. There was AI posters made probably by an unpaid intern, and people were like, that looks right. I mean, like, I don't understand how you would think that that was what was going to happen. Like, you're crazy. There was all of the evidence that this show was like the anti-Marvel show. So to expect a Marvel ending is absolutely insane. Ugh. Ugh. I guess now I'll have to get into spoilers. So if you have not watched The Boys, watch The Boys. It's a good show. If you're into that kind of thing. Again, if you don't like the pilot, if you don't like the first 2 episodes, you're not going to like it. So, if you like the first couple episodes, watch the show. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. Okay, so the internet got really, really mad. And I'm going to agree with, like, a couple things. One, Starlight brought the Deep to the beach to fight him. Now, the Deep had caused a fuck ton of ocean life to die, but Starlight didn't know that. So why the fuck did she bring him there? Like, it was cool seeing him killed by all the ocean life. It made sense for his character arc. It just made no fucking sense for Starlight to bring him there. It just, it was nonsense. It made absolutely no sense, and I don't think it like really like fucks up anything particularly like from a storytelling. It's a minor thing, but like it was like a blatant like, why did you do that? In the penultimate episode, that means second to last for you uncultured freaks. I'm looking this way and the camera's over here, but like it looks, because if I'm looking at my face and look, okay. The penultimate episode, the second to last one, where Frenchie died. Why? It really felt like they were like, somebody has to die because we need an emotional moment. So, all right, Huey can't die, Starlight can't die, Butcher can't die, fucking Homelander, you know, like a bunch of, so like who's disposable? Well, Kamiko's not anymore because she is getting the power to the Jensen Ackles power. So it's like it was down to Mother's Milk and Frenchie, and Frenchie was the one that they decided. Because if Mother's Milk died, I mean, like, who's really gonna care? You know, he's a good character, but like, not that big of a deal. So it was like, you know, Frenchie's got to be the one to die, because that way it'll pull on your heartstrings. And honestly, it felt so forced, and it also felt like it was developed in the 9th episode, the second to last episode. Like his phone breaking, like everything. It was so developed in the episode, and it was so telegraphed that like it really didn't feel like anything. You know, it was nice that he came back as a ghost and convinced Kamiko to fuck Homelander up. I don't know though. Like it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, or my cup of pee. Whatever. Am I drinking pee? Am I drinking pee? Tea? I don't know. I have 2 lighters that are almost dead. I don't know where my regular one went, so that's why I'm using 2 lighters. Yeah, so that was my 2 main things that were an issue. But in the long scheme of things, Homelander was stopped. That needed to happen. It took place in the Oval Office, so again, a bit on the nose, but it happened in the Oval Office because budget. They weren't destroying a whole city. They didn't have fucking, Superman snapping Zod's neck budget. They didn't have every Avengers movie where they destroy an entire city. They didn't have that budget. But also it happened in the Oval Office because Homelander's Trump. I mean, I don't know if that was the goal from the very beginning, but it became so blatantly obvious by, I don't know, even probably season 2, definitely season 3, that they sort of just had leaned into this thing, and it was the only way that they could end things. So, I mean, and then Homelander's, I'll suck your dick. Like, he's a nobody without his powers. And I thought that was a great ending for him. It was the correct ending for him. It shows how he's a nobody without people kissing his ass because they're afraid of him. And I thought that was really great. So then we get to like the very, very end, where Butcher decides still that he's going to release the virus, and the showdown between him and Huey. And he looked at Huey and he saw his brother. I don't know, whatever. But either way, Huey killing Butcher was what had to happen, because Butcher was a bad fucking guy. He was not a good guy. So, just fucking, he had to die. And Huey had to be the good guy, and he had to die. And so I think that was, executed perfectly. Is that Huey ended Butcher. Huey was this innocent guy that got drawn into this whole thing. Butcher was a fucking psychopath, maniac, and Huey had all these thoughts throughout the seasons, and he finally was the one to put him down. And I think that was perfect from a storytelling standpoint. From an execution standpoint, it worked. I don't know I would write it, or if I wrote it, I'd probably do it differently. But I'm not saying that the way they did it was bad. So I really think that The Boys had a very satisfying ending outside of the fact that Gen V was canceled, and so it really didn't mean anything. And I feel like years down the road, we're going to find out that something happened where season 5 had to be heavily rewritten, because it didn't feel right. But yeah, the internet was freaking the fuck out because it didn't have this Marvel ending with cities destroyed. Like, fuck you. That's not what this show was. The show was anti-fucking Marvel, like, basically the entire time. So expecting a Marvel ending was insane. And the internet outrage ended, like, real quick. Everybody just moved on to something else. I think that The Boys did a very good job. At least hitting the beats that they needed to. Will I rewatch it? I'm sure eventually. It's not something that I'm like Breaking Bad or Sons of Anarchy, where I'm like, I gotta go rewatch that right now. It's nothing like that. Or like, Lost, or Battlestar Galactica, where I've watched it like 4 or 5 times now, because it's just like the journey's so great. I feel like, 10, 20 years from now, it's not going to have aged well, probably, because it got so much into like Homelander's Trump. So like 20 years from now, that's not gonna matter so much, probably. I still think that they did a good job, all things considered. I'm gonna watch the new Vought Rising. I don't really have high hopes for it, but I'm gonna watch it. I don't mind how the franchise has done things, all things considered. I really want behind the scenes information to see, like, if if Gen V stuff really messed up, like, the whole universe that they were planning out, because I think that it did a lot. But yeah, the internet was freaking out, and I think they're crazy, and I think The Boys did a very good job. All things considered, I felt whelmed. At the end of the show. Like, I was just like, the things that needed to happen happened. So yeah, that's my thought on The Boys. Nobody's gonna be still watching this far into the video, but if you are, tell me in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong, or tell me I'm right, or tell me, look at your left ear. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm ending the video now. I'm opening my eyes really wide, and my nostrils, and my mouth.